The Australian Grand Prix has always been about wind, speed and raw courage. But now a storm of a very different kind is sweeping through the MotoGP paddock. A decision that will reshape the sport's presence down under has ignited fierce debate. And at the centre of it stands one of Australia's greatest ever riders. When news broke that MotoGP would leave the sweeping coastal curves of Phillip Island Grand Prix circuit for a brand new street circuit in Adelaide from 2027, it did not take long for emotions to boil over. For many, it felt like the end of an era. For Casey Stoner, it was something far more personal. Now, the two-time world champion has delivered a blistering critique of Liberty Media, accusing the sport's new commercial owners of turning their backs on one of the finest motorcycle circuits in the world. And as tensions rise, the paddock finds itself facing a potential identity crisis. Casey Stoner is not merely another retired rider offering sentimental reflections. The Australian icon, a two-time MotoGP world champion and multiple winner at Phillip Island, has an emotional and competitive bond with the circuit that few can match. Posting on Instagram on Friday, February 20th, 2026, Stoner did not hold back. He described Phillip Island as one of the best motorcycle circuits in the world. A venue that has consistently delivered some of the most thrilling and memorable races in modern MotoGP history. His central question was sharp and direct. Why remove the best circuit from the calendar? It was not just a defense of tradition. It was a challenge to the direction in which MotoGP is heading. Phillip Island has long been synonymous with high-speed flow, dramatic coastal winds, and races that reward bravery and finesse. It is a circuit deeply woven into the modern history of the championship, alongside legends such as Valentino Rossi, who shares the record for most premier-class victories at the venue with Stoner himself. For many purists, Phillip Island represents the purest expression of prototype motorcycle racing: fast, flowing, unforgiving. From 2027, MotoGP Australia will move to a newly designed street circuit in the heart of Adelaide, under an agreement reportedly running until 2032. The layout, measuring approximately 4.195 kilometres with 18 corners, is expected to allow top speeds exceeding 340 kilometers per hour. The project has been unveiled by MotoGP Chief Sporting Officer Carlos Ezpeleta alongside South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas, with organisers promising uncompromising safety standards. Extensive runoff areas and a layout partially routed through parkland aim to meet modern MotoGP requirements. The blueprint takes inspiration from the historic Adelaide Street Circuit, which famously hosted Formula One from 1985 to 1995. However, adapting a street environment for 300-plus horsepower prototype motorcycles presents a significantly different challenge compared to single-seater cars. Street circuits bring spectacle. They bring city centre accessibility, they bring corporate appeal and urban festival atmospheres, but they also bring risk, limited margin for error, and often a different style of racing. Tighter, more stop-start, and less flowing. And this is precisely where the philosophical divide begins. Since acquiring MotoGP's commercial rights, Liberty Media has been widely expected to modernise and expand the championship's global footprint, drawing on its experience transforming Formula One into a mainstream entertainment powerhouse. Urban venues fit that model perfectly. City circuits create postcard imagery, drive tourism, and attract new audiences. From a business perspective, Adelaide makes strategic sense. But Stoner's criticism suggests that the sport may be risking something more intangible: its identity. MotoGP has historically thrived on natural terrain circuits, flowing tracks carved into landscapes, where riders battle elevation changes, camber variations, and unpredictable conditions. Phillip Island, perched beside the Bass Strait, epitomizes that spirit. Replacing it with a street circuit inevitably signals a shift in priorities. Is MotoGP prioritizing commercial expansion over racing heritage? That is the uncomfortable question now circulating in the paddock. From a technical standpoint, adapting a street circuit for MotoGP requires extensive modification. Modern bikes accelerate brutally and rely heavily on corner speed. Unlike Formula One cars, they lack enclosed cockpits and aerodynamic crash structures. The margin for error is razor thin. While organisers insist that Adelaide will meet all safety standards, history shows that street circuits in motorcycle racing demand absolute precision in design, especially when top speeds are projected to exceed 340 kilometers per hour. Moreover, racing quality could change dramatically. Phillip Island's long, flowing corners encourage slipstream battles and constant overtakes. Street layouts often produce tighter racing lines and fewer natural passing opportunities. The character of the Australian Grand Prix may fundamentally transform. Stoner's intervention has amplified what many insiders were already whispering. This is not merely a venue change, but a symbolic turning point. Some riders privately welcome the commercial boost and fresh challenge. Others share Stoner's concerns about losing one of the championship's crown jewels. Teams, meanwhile, are assessing the logistical and technical implications of preparing for a radically different type of circuit. The emotional reaction in Australia has been particularly intense. Phillip Island is not just a track, it is a pilgrimage site for fans. Its removal from the calendar risks alienating a loyal core audience at a time when MotoGP is trying to grow globally. Ultimately, this controversy reflects a broader tension in modern motorsport: heritage versus growth. Liberty Media's strategy may well expand MotoGP's reach and commercial strength. Adelaide could become a spectacular urban festival that introduces the sport to new demographics. From a business standpoint, the move might prove visionary. But Stoner's fury is a reminder that MotoGP is not merely entertainment. It is a sport built on history, bravery, and circuits that challenge the very limits of physics and rider skill. If the championship begins to sacrifice its most iconic battlegrounds, what remains of its soul? As 2027 approaches, the Australian Grand Prix will become more than just another round on the calendar. It will be a test case for MotoGP's future direction, and whether the balance between tradition and transformation can truly be maintained. One thing is certain: this debate is far from over. Beyond the emotional reaction, there is also a competitive dimension that cannot be ignored.